All right, I'm recording this on Martin Luther King Day 2022. Now, I know over the last 2 years, I've mused about the benefits of maybe continuing to work remotely for the rest of my career, but I noticed there are several drawbacks. One of the big ones is the underappreciation of all the behind the scenes work, right? So I'm a private tutor. A lot of students and their parents don't seem to appreciate how much has to go on behind the scenes. They see me for 1 hour, 2 hours, and they forget that in order for the lesson to happen, I have to be at the right place at the right time, right? So earlier today, I almost got into a car accident. I'm very vigilant about not texting while driving, but the phone had rang and I took a peek at the number. I didn't recognize the number, but the area code was local, and I thought something work-related. Now, I was on the road, and I was 3-4 miles away from home, I want to say. And those 3 or 4 miles were just some of the longest miles I ever drove. I get to a red light. I needed to turn right, but the guy in front of me was going straight, and I swerved around him to make the turn. My heart was pounding out of my chest. I tried to answer the call, but I was on speakerphone. I couldn't hear anything because it's a very windy day here in the Seattle area. So I pull into our parking lot of our apartment, and I called them back. It's actually the blood bank asking me to give blood because they want the antibodies from the COVID-19 out of the blood, apparently. Ever since I tested positive, oh my God, my phone has rang nonstop from the blood bank center. Anyway, so I get back home to get to my student. I could have pulled over to answer the phone, but I was also rushing home to get to a student. And after I got to the student, his internet wasn't working right, and he had to reconnect his computer. And in the past, I might have stayed a little bit later to make up for the 5-10 minutes we lost, but after all that, I decided to leave work on time today because it made me realize just how little time we have for all the different human needs that one has, right? My students get really anxious when I'm like a couple minutes late, and I tell my students, we can certainly schedule so-and-so time, but you got to recognize that I have like one isolated client on Saturday, and in order for that to happen, I got to be in front of the computer screen, and sometimes the kids or the parents don't seem to understand. But it made me, after today's race on the road, it made me appreciate there are benefits to working in the office. Right? Nobody's going to forget that you have to commute to the office and all that. And there's just greater appreciation. There's also more body language that gets lost behind the scenes on the computer, right? Although I hope once we return to the office, we continue to wear a mask, whether or not the pandemic plays on. Because a lot of times when I have difficult discussions to make, I was just at the office with my manager. I had a mask on, obviously, and I found it so much easier to ask for a vacation that I was planning. So there are pluses and minuses. So don't take it too hard when you have to go back to the office. Try to enjoy the new benefits of that too.